Okay, solving rational equations. So when we're solving these, we need to figure out what x equals. We're solving for x, and then we also need to look at our domain restrictions. So I think it's easiest to just do domain restrictions right off the bat, right? We just look at our denominator. We have x minus 4. Okay, to check for a domain restriction, we just set it equal to 0 and solve. So add the 4 over, x equals 4. Okay, that means we cannot plug in 4 because then we would get 0 in the denominator. So our only domain restriction for this first one is x cannot equal 4. All right, and then we can start solving it. So I'm just going to rewrite it out. Okay, we need to get rid of this fraction. So I'm going to multiply by x minus 4 on both sides. All right, that's going to cancel out over here. So we have 6x minus 17 equals, multiply that 7 and we get 7x minus 28. Okay, then we just solve for x. So minus 6x, we have negative 17 equals 7 minus 6 is just 1x. And then we'll add our 28 over, which gives us 11. And that would be our answer. All right, proficient. So on this one, it's a little bit different because we have this subtraction here. We do need to make these have a common denominator before we can solve this. So for the 5 over x minus 9, we need to get our x plus 2 over x plus 2. And then for the 2 over x plus 2, we need x minus 9 over x minus 9. Okay, oh, and this one over here just factors to negative 9 and 2. Okay, and I think on the test this is factored for you, so it'll just look like this on the test. All right, so let's do that multiplication. So we've got 2x plus 43 on the one side, and then we have 5 times our x plus 2, so 5x plus 10. Okay, and then we have our subtraction, so I'm going to do minus parentheses. Okay, and then now I'm doing this 2 times x minus 9, so we have 2x minus 18. All right, so first thing we want to do is get rid of our denominators. Okay, and so the way to get rid of that is to multiply. So I'm going to grab a different color. So we're going to multiply each side by x minus 9 and x plus 2. X minus 9, x plus 2. Okay, and that cancels out the denominators. Okay, and you don't necessarily need to write out this step, excuse me, on your test. You can just jump to 2x plus 43 equals 5x plus 10. I'm going to distribute this negative, so I have minus 2x plus 18. All right, and then we just solve again. So on the right side over here, 5x minus 2x is 3x. 10 plus 18 is 28. 2x plus 43. All right, and then I'm going to go minus 2x. This will just go on to the next question. 43 equals x plus 28 minus 28. And that gives us, what is it, 15. Okay, so x equals 15. Oh, and we forgot to do the domain restriction, so let's go back and do that now. You can do it at the end or the beginning, it doesn't matter. So we're, again, just looking at the denominators. We know we can't have 0. The two things that we have on the denominators, and you can look at these ones too, it doesn't really matter since they're the same. So we have x minus 9 can't be 0, and then x plus 2 can't be 0. So if we solve those, we know x can't be 9, and x can't be negative 2. All right. Okay, and lastly, highly proficient. Let's get these erased. Okay, and let's just check our domain restrictions right at the beginning. So x minus 1, that can't be 0. X plus 3 can't be 0. So we know x cannot be 1, and x cannot be negative 3. Okay, so I'm going to put those in for my x does not equal. Okay, and then x equals, and we need to do our solving. So, once again, we've got this addition here, so we need to get a common denominator so we can combine things. So, to this first one, we need to get our x plus 3 in there. And then the second one, we need x minus 1. Okay, and again, I'm just picking whichever one it doesn't have over here. All right, so for that first one, we have x plus 3 and x plus 1. That's going to give me x squared. X plus x times 1 is x, and then 3 times x is 3x, so I get 4x plus 3. Okay, and that's over my x plus 3 and x minus 1. Okay, plus, on the other one, we have 4 times x minus 1, so 4x minus 4. Our same denominator equals the last one. That one already has our denominator. Okay, we can combine these two since they have the same denominator. It would just be our x plus 3 and x minus 1. Okay, and then we get rid of the denominators. Again, technically we're multiplying each side by x plus 3 and x minus 1, so they cancel out, but you don't have to write that step out. So we have x squared plus 4x plus 3 plus 4x minus 4 equals 8. And then we're just going to solve. Let's see, so on the left we have x squared, 4x, that's 8x. And then 3 minus 4 is negative 1 equals 8. Okay, we do, since we have this x squared, instead of getting, solving to get x equals, we're going to have to factor this. So we need everything on the same side. We want it to equal 0 when we are factoring. Okay, and then our a times b, that's negative 9. Multiply to negative 9 and add up to 8. That's going to be 9 and negative 1. So we get x equals negative 9 and 1, right? We set each of those equal to 0 and solve. Okay. Now, if you look at this, we got two answers, negative 9 and 1, but 1 is one of our domain restrictions, which means we cannot plug in 1. So the only answer that works is negative 9. Okay, so every time you do a question, you should be checking if it's one of the domain restrictions, and if it is, you cannot include that in your answer. All right.